Hey, it's Mo. We're here at the UAT Experience, where potential students come and get a deep dive of different technology degrees UAT has to offer. Today, we're talking with Derric on figuring out what part of game development you want to go to.
You have to have passion to do what we do. It's a lot of work. But what I try to preach is, if you were going to go home tonight and do something, what would it be? Would you sit down and dream up a game idea? Would you sit down and work on a website and code? Or would you sit down and sketch or draw? So that helps me get started. But we put everybody, art, design, programming, into a class we call game development, Game 125. And what we do in that is we create 2 board games. So you don't have to have a deep skill set yet, but you can see all of the tasks that go into creating a gaming experience. And so all 3 take that simultaneously. So in a single class, I'll have artists, designers, and programmers, or people, like you said, who aren't quite sure. So I walk through the entire process. We talk about, what do artists do? What do designers do? What do programmers do? What's a producer do? What about advertising? What about the business side? And so we cover everything that happens in a game production in that class to help students figure out, where do I fit within this entire process?
Can you tell us the difference between game art, game design, and game programming?
Our game art and animation degree is focused on the visuals, the aesthetics. So if you see something in game, whether it's a character moving, a box in the background, the sky, a game artist has probably touched that stuff. So think of it as the assets or the set dressings, or anything is visual, all the way up to like the UI. If there's a button on the screen or an inventory or an icon, all that kind of stuff is created by game art and animation. So game programming, I like to think of them as a lot of them are the behind the scenes. They build the infrastructure that makes a game work. So they are in charge of the engine. The engine is what drives everything. So if I want to press a button or I want to do something in game, the game has to interact that and trigger some kind of a response. So a programmer is going to be in charge of making that kind of stuff work. The other thing that a programmer will do is help the rest of the team be productive. So if we have a task that we're struggling with, a programmer might write us a tool that helps automate that task or make that task work more productively, so that an artist or a designer can go in and say, oh no, now I just press this button instead of doing these 10 steps. And so yeah, they do tools programming, they do AI, they do artificial intelligence. We do things like pathfinding. Anything that moves in a game has code behind it. So design kind of fits in between them both. Designers really need to know a little bit about art and a little bit about programming. They are kind of the architects. So they start off with a lot of our pre-planning. They figure out, okay, what's going to happen when I walk up to this door? When's this monster going to spawn? Do I need health here? How is that all going to work? So they plan a lot of that kind of stuff out, and then they work with the artists and the programmers to implement it. A key difference in game design that a lot of people think, oh, I'm a designer, I'm just going to sit and dream up great ideas. Well, that's part of it. You have to do that. But the key to a great designer is their ability to implement their ideas. And so we're always going to stress, yes, design is about planning, but it's also about implementing.
Thanks, Derric, for breaking down the gaming degrees UAT has to offer. Check out what else University of Advancing Technology can do for you when you visit uat.edu/mo.